This is Mr. Benson coming to you live from D107. I'm going to go over this practice test you all took today. Some of you struggled on it, some of you didn't struggle on it, but this should help you figure out where you made the mistakes, okay? So first, we're going to start doing this first one, question number 1, which is simplify the difference completely. Notice right off the bat, Mr. Benson gave you common denominator. Because I gave you a common denominator, you can just say that's your denominator, x minus 6 right there. And now you just got the numerator. Now this is where most of you, not all of you, but most of you made your mistake. So we have 4x minus x minus 7. Okay, we're subtracting that whole thing. Now remember, when you subtract the whole parenthesis, what you want to do is you want to change it to a positive, make everything else on the inside the opposite, and get rid of the parentheses. So really what you have then is 4x plus negative x, right? Because you have the negatives, plus 7 right there. And that is all over x minus 6 at this point. Okay, so now let's simplify this down. I got this 4 plus negative x right here, right? These two things. That gets me 3x plus 7 all over x minus 6. And there's our final solution. Make sure you try to use parentheses on top and bottom. Let's see how I did. I'm kind of nervous. This is the first one. Usually this is where I make my mistake. That first one. I'm just overconfident sometimes. Confidence is good, everyone. Overconfidence, not so much. Not so much. Okay, checking it. Okay. I'm on track. Okay, so now we're going on number 2. Number 2 says to solve. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this problem. One graphically and one algebraically. Okay? I already got this all set up on Desmos. Check this out. See this one? It's right here. It's right there graphed. We'll take a look at this graph right here in a second, but let's solve this algebraically first. We got to get a common denominator here. What I notice is missing over here is my 2x plus 1 because I can't really factor this or factor this. So that's the best it gets. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 2x plus 1, and this top and bottom by 3x plus 4. 3x plus 4. 3x plus 4. Okay, now that I got a common denominator, I don't care about the denominator for a while. Okay, for a while. We got to come back to it. But right now, let's just focus only on the top, the numerator. So what I have is I got 3x plus 4 times, this is from this area right here, x minus 10 equals 4x times, this is this area right here, 2x minus 1. Okay, so we got to solve this thing here. Now for this right here, you're going to make the little box, and we'll make this little box over here. You're going to multiply it. So I got a 3x, and I got a 4, and then I got an x and a negative 10, x, negative 10. Oh man, I got a little glitchy there. Okay, so I got 3x squared plus 4x minus 30x minus 40. Okay, so that's the left side. It's 3x squared. And now remember, we got to bring these together. So left side is 3x squared. When you bring these two things together, the negative 30x and the 4x, you get minus 26x. And when you bring that negative 40, you can't combine that with anything. So that's that side. And now on the right side, I got the 4. I'm going to distribute this 4x there and right there. So 4x times 2x is 8x squared. 4x times negative 1 is minus 4x right there. Okay, now at this point, we should be looking at it and be like, we got to solve for this x. I got these squares right here. It doesn't look like they're going to cancel out, so I'm going to get everything on one side, and then I'm going to factor it, if I can factor it. Hopefully I can. So what should I bring over? I'd like to have positive x squared, so I'm going to subtract 3x squared. I'm going to add 26x, and I'm going to add 40 to both sides, minus 3x squared plus 26x plus 40. So that gets me 5x squared. 26 is 22. Oh, this seems weird. Am I doing everything right? I just want to make sure. Hopefully I didn't make a stupid mistake. I hate when I make those mistakes. It happens. We're all human, right? And we make mistakes. So it makes us human. Okay, no, I think I'm good. 5x, negative 4x squared plus 26 is plus 22x plus 40 right there. Okay, so that's my numerator. And this is set equal to 0. Set equal to 0. So I got to figure out what what that is. Oh, this is going to be a tough one to factor. Let's factor this. We can't take anything out of each of these terms. It's a trinomial, so we're going to have to do the multiplication thing. Take this 5 and multiply it by the 40. 5 times 40, the last I checked, is 200. So we're going to do this little x thing and put 200 on the bottom. And then what goes on top? Nothing. This 22 goes on top, so 22. So what times what is 200 that adds together to be 22? 222. 222. 20 times 10. No, that's not it. Not 20 times 10. Oh, I might need a calculator for this one. Let's get that going. 20 times 10. This is why I should have done this beforehand. That way I would have known right off the bat, and then you guys would have been impressed. Okay, so let's see. Let's find all the factors of. Let's do. How about these two numbers are probably not too close together because there's a difference of 22. So 200 divided by, I don't know, it was 30. No. 200 divided by 25. 25. 25. No, that doesn't do it. 200 divided by, so it would be 25. Just 25. Let's do 26. 28. Let's do 28. Let's see if that does it. No. 200 divided by 26. I don't think that one does it. 200 divided by, and we did 30, right? That doesn't do it. 200 divided by, 200 divided by what? 10? That's 20. 10 and 20 doesn't do it. Is that really 22? Something tells me that's not 22. Something tells me it's not 22. Okay, let's go to my graph. Let's see what the graph says. Okay, so now we're stuck on this. We're trying to factor this, right? Don't know what times what is 200 that adds together to be 22. So we're going to, was that a -3? We're going to go to our graph. So what we're going to do is we take this function right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this whole thing on the left side, subtract it. And so what we have is we're going to have x minus 10, 2x plus 1, subtract 4x over 3x plus 4. And we're going to plug that into Desmos. And what we're trying to do is we're going to try to figure out where this thing is equal to 0. Because when you subtract it, we have a 0 left on this side. So we'll go down my Desmos right here, graph. And now that I'm there, notice I have that graph right here. This is the same graph as the one over there once I subtract it. And I'm just going to try to figure out where it crosses over the x-axis. So it looks like it crosses over here and here. So let's zoom in on that little spot right there and there. Oh, it looks like it crosses over at -4 and -2. -4 and -2, huh? I wonder where I went wrong with my graphing. So if it crosses over at -4 and -2, these are possible solutions to this equation. So now you got to ask yourself, if those are the two solutions, okay, -4, -2. If you were to take -4 and put it in to this denominator would make it equal to 0. Well, 2 times -4 is -8 plus 1. That's not 0. And 3 times -4 is -12 plus 4. That's not 0. So this one checks off. Now let's try -2. So if we put -2 into this equation right here, -2 times, that's -4 plus 1. Nope, that's good. And then -2 times 3 for this one, plus 4. Yeah, that checks off. So your two solutions are -4 and -2. I wonder where I went wrong on this when I was multiplying these things. Well, we'll never know. But I know that it's -4 and -2. I'll have to give that another shot. Maybe I didn't do it wrong. Let's see. -4, -2. Check that. There we go. Got me. You got me, everyone. I don't know what I did wrong. I'm sure I made some little mistake. I missed something. And that's something to learn about these problems. They're hard. And you can miss one little thing, like when you're writing it and you're rushing through it. Miss one small little detail. Like maybe that this was too, I don't know. I don't know what detail I missed, but I'm sure it's something important. Let's take a look at this one. See if I don't miss this detail on this one. Look at each of these denominators. And see, notice that, gosh, guys, this is like some hints when you do these problems. See how this is x minus 5 and x plus 4? You know, I could make your life really difficult, but there's a good chance that this thing right here is going to probably factor to be that. You want to check it, but it's probably a good chance it's going to factor to be that. So let's just double check. What is this factor to be? We'll do that down here. -20 and -1. What times what is -20? That adds together to be 1. We got 4, 5, 5 right there, and then this one would be the negative. So you're right, yeah. Or I was right, I guess. X plus 4, x plus 5. Wait, which one was x minus 5? X minus 5. There we go. Minus 5. Okay, so now we got this. We got to get a common denominator. This one has everything that's needed. This x plus 4 is missing the x minus 5. We do that on top and bottom. X minus 5. Just know that it's also on the bottom there. And this one, x minus 5, is missing the x plus 4. So we got to bring that on top and bottom. X plus 4 on top and bottom right there. Okay, so now that we have that, let's just rewrite only the numerator. We only care about the numerator right now. We have x plus 4 times 2x minus 3, and this is equal to x times x minus 5 plus 20 x minus 37. Now, because of this plus, I didn't have to put parentheses around that, but if it's a subtraction, you definitely would. Okay, now let's try to simplify some things. Here I got 2x squared when I did that. Then I got minus 3x, and then this gives me plus 8x, and then this gives me minus 12. That's equal to x times x is x squared minus 5x for this next one, plus 20x minus 37. Is it minus 37? Yeah, it's minus 37. Okay, now let's try to combine like terms on each side separately. So we've got 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 is equal to x squared plus 15x minus 37 right there. Now let's get everything to one side. That's, I think, the best bet. So I'm gonna bring this x squared over here, subtract x squared, subtract the x squared. I'm gonna subtract 15x, subtract 15x. I'm gonna add the 37 to both sides, add 37. And so what I get is, on this side is 0 now, because I just subtracted everything off. This side I have x squared minus 10x plus 25. Oh, you guys know what this one is? This is x minus 5, x minus 5. If you were to factor that, you can make your little factor box and put 25 and negative 10 and negative 5 and negative 5. This equals 0. So our solution is when x is equal to 5. But then we got to check, right? We got to check. Our solution is when x is equal to 5. Is it truly a solution? Well, we're going to check here. If you put a 5 in for that x, does that make the bottom equal to 0? Does it? Does it? Think about it. 5 minus 5. Is 5 minus 5 0? It is. And therefore, because it is, this is not a solution. And therefore, since that was the only one given to us, this one should have no solution. And what happens when there's no solution? What do you type? Well, what does it tell you to type? Oh, none. Okay, none. Let's check that out. Yes. Oh, this is good. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the graph of this. I made a graph of this one too. Remember, we could have taken this and graphed it. I'll show you the graph. It's this second one down right here. I subtracted those two things to get all on one side. And if we take a look at this graph over the other one, it's this green one. And it actually gives us a solution, right? Right here. It gives us a solution of 5. But even though it gives you that solution right here of 5, you've got to go and check it in with the equation to see if it makes it true. Or does it make it undefined? And in this situation, because you have 5 minus 5, because you put a 5 in for this x, it will make it undefined. Okay. Okay, moving on to this next one right here. Here, let's not do the algebraic manipulation. Let's just see if we can answer this using Desmos. So I got this thing graphed here. Remember, the key thing for graphing it, to graph this, is we're going to subtract x plus 5 over x minus 3 from both sides. Over x minus 3. Minus 3 from both sides. When we do that, what you have is 7 over x, that's from here, right there, plus 24 over x squared minus 3x, that's from here, minus this, minus x plus 5 over x minus 3. Once you have this whole thing, you just have to put it into Desmos, okay? And I did that right here. Check it out. This is in Desmos now, right there. So now you just have to look at the graph and read the graph, okay? This graph is this one. We're going to zoom in on it. We're trying to figure out where it crosses the x-axis. That's our goal. Looks like it crosses over the x-axis only at -1. So that's our only given solution that it could possibly be. But we got to make sure, is that a true solution? Okay, it might be a fake one. Well, so our solution, Desmos says, is -1. If you put a -1 in here for our x, -1 minus 3, does that equal to 0? Nope. If you put a -1 in here, -1 squared, that's 1 minus, oh, that's not 0. Nope. And if you put a negative 1 in for this x right here, does that be 0? No, it's negative 1, so nope. Because it's nope for all of these, this does check off. It does not make any of those 0, therefore negative 1 is your solution. I really hope so. Let's do it. Negative 1. There we go. Oh, God. This is working out well. Okay, now we're on question number 5. I'm looking at these two. I'm subtracting it. To subtract the fractions, you need a common denominator. I look at the 12 and the 4. I notice 12 is actually 3 times 4. So really all that's missing is to have a 3 multiplied over here and over here. Make sure you put parentheses around it, or you're going to make the mistake of not distributing 3 to this x squared. You might make that mistake. I don't know if you will. So now we got a common denominator, so that's our denominator is 12. Now we just focus on the numerator. So we got 3x times x plus 1 minus, double negative. Well, I don't know if this is double negative, but make sure you're subtracting both things. Minus 3x squared, because we're going to distribute this 3 in here and here, plus 3. Okay, now remember, we're subtracting this whole thing, and we don't like subtracting parentheses, rather add them. So I'm going to make this an addition, and then I make this a negative, and this is a negative right there. So now I can rewrite this whole thing as, let's do this, and I'm going to kind of do some distributing at the same time as I rewrite it. This is 3x times x, which is 3x squared, plus 3x. This is minus 3x squared from this one, and then minus 3. That's all over 12. Check out this. This 3x squared and that negative 3x squared. Guess what happens to that? See you later. It's gone. So really we have 3x plus 3 over 12. At this point you're saying, yes, I'm done. But notice on top. Look at the top. Look at it. See, this one has a 3 and this one has a 3? That means you can factor a 3 out. So we have 3 times x plus 1. Don't forget about the plus 1. You need that there. You need a spot for this 3 to come back into play if you decide to distribute this 3 back in. Okay? So we have 3 over x plus 1 over 12. Well, remember what we talked about over here is 12 is really 3 times 4. So if 12 is 3 times 4, we can cancel this 3 with that 3 left there, have a 4 left at the bottom. And our final solution is x plus, is it plus? Oh, I made a mistake. Do you see it? Oh, it's minus, 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 minus. So it's x minus 4, x minus 1, mistake number 2, all over 4. There's your final solution. X minus 1 over 4. Let's see if we can get this in there. Oh, I'm going to use x minus 1 divided by 4. Checking it. Good. We're on the roll. We're on a roll now. Okay. Now, we got this next problem here. We're going to add these two, find the sum of them. To find the sum of them, we need to still get a common denominator, so I'm going to multiply this top by x plus 5 and the bottom by x plus 5. Okay, and this one I'm going to multiply by x minus 7 and the bottom by x minus 7. Okay, so with that in mind, now I got my common denominator. We'll put that right here. X minus 7, x plus 5, and then on top I got this 1 times this and this, so I got x minus 7 plus 6x plus 5. Okay. Okay, let's see, what can we bring together? I got this x and this 6x, that's 7x, and then I got a negative 7 and a 5, that's negative 2. That's all over x minus 7, x plus 5. I look at the top, I'm looking at the top. I don't see anything that I can cancel or factor out to cancel with the bottom right here. So that must be my final solution. You know, we would like to see something simpler, right? But sometimes that's what it is. It's not always simple, guys. That's just a fact. Life isn't always simple. It can get hard. And this is a really hard time right here. This stuff is really hard. So hopefully I typed this in right. And then x plus 5. Checking that. Oh! I wish it didn't delete my work when I checked that. Is it the parenthesis on top? Check that. Oh! What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong, everyone? Who knows? What is this? We got x minus 7 on top. Plus 6. Oh, is that plus 30? Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. 6 times x plus 5. Do there, and then so it should have been x minus 7 plus 6x plus 30. Oh, embarrassing. Okay, so I bring, I got this right? I hope I got this right. So I got this, bring those together, I got my 7x, and bring the negative 7 and the 30 together. And then if you bring the negative 7 and the 30 together, you get 23 plus 23. Oh, okay. That's all over. See? That's why you want to like take your time and not rush it like I just did. I'm rushing this and make mistakes, and then I get embarrassed. So 7x plus 23. I hope it's plus 23 over x plus minus 7x plus 5. Okay. Put parentheses around the top. Oh, come on. There we. Oh. Okay. See, even I make mistakes. Even I do. Of course, you see them all the time. I know you guys do. Okay. Now we're moving on to this one. We got x squared minus 9 and x plus 3. Well, we know by doing this little thing, the negative 9 and the 0 for this, this is x plus 3, x minus 3. So what's missing over here? Oh, just an x plus, or x minus 3. Right? X minus, no. See? This is where I got to slow down. Another situation. Slow down, Benson. X minus 3. Okay, so we got a common denominator right now. So let's do this work here. I got 5x minus 15 minus this whole thing. Remember, 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. That's still over my common denominator. That means common denominator for me right now. Just save on time. That's the rushing it that I keep on telling you. Don't do that. Don't rush it. This is a test, guys. You got to do well on this. Now remember, here we're subtracting 2x, but we're also subtracting the negative 6. That's a double negative. Double negative is a positive. So I got 5x minus 2x, which is 3x. And then I got negative 15 minus negative 6, which is really negative 15 plus 6. This is negative 15 plus 6, and negative 15 plus 6 is negative 9, all over x plus 3, x minus 3. Okay, now look on top. Look here. Everyone looking? Okay, look at that. Notice this has a 3 you can factor out, and that has a 3 you can factor out. If you factor that 3 out, you're left with x minus 3, because 3 times 3 gives you this 9 right there. And then on the bottom, you still have x plus 3, x minus 3. Guess what you can do with this x minus 3s? Well, you can just cancel them because they're all being multiplied. And what you have left is 3 over x plus 3. 3 divided by x plus 3. And then I'm going to put parentheses on the bottom because that's the right thing to do. Checking that. Oh. Holy cow. Okay. Okay, 3 to go. Ooh, someone's here. Pop. Okay, now they left. They're still in here. So we're going to get started on question number 8 right here. We got to simplify this. The first thing you want to do is focus on just this right here. You want to simplify that. Now remember, when you're dividing complex fractions, the key thing is to take this bottom one, you flip it, and you multiply instead. So we have really x plus 1 over x minus 2. That's this top right here. And now we're going to multiply it by, now the 2's on top, 2 over x plus 2. Right there. That's what that turns into. Did I miss anything? No, that's good. You flip it. That's good. Okay. And so we're going to simplify that first right there. Okay. So now we're subtracting an x over x squared minus 4. Now check this out. This x squared minus 4 is an x minus 2, x plus 2. That's the same as this right here. So we actually have a common denominator right here. So really, we can just multiply this right here. We'll multiply this 2 there and there. So I got 2x plus 2 minus x. That's all over x minus 2, x plus 2. Now 2x minus x, that gives me just an x. So I got an x, and I still have this plus 2 here, plus 2. That's all over x minus 2. Oh, do you guys see it? Here we go. This is canceling. X plus 2. This cancels that off. And what do I have left on top? Don't forget, there's something up there. It's a 1. It's a placeholder. So I got x minus 2 on the bottom. And there's my solution to this one right here. But let's see. Let's see if it actually is. Oh, another student coming in. Checking it. Checking it. Hey, Katie. I'm talking to myself. Hey, Katie. I'm doing the next problem. You can watch or you can just sit in the back. Oh, we got to simplify this difference right here. Now this is getting awkward because there's people watching me. So here, if you take a look at this problem, what we have here is we got an x plus 7 in the denominator, an x, and then an x squared plus 7x, and we got to get a common denominator. Guess what? Guess what this turns into, everyone? It's this x plus 7 of the x. Because look, you can factor an x out of this term and an x out of that term. That leaves you with an x times x plus 7. Okay, now with that in mind now, since we have that, what's missing over here? Here we're missing the x, so we got to multiply top and bottom. And here we're missing the x plus 7 on top and bottom. Okay, so now we got to figure out what this whole thing is, and this is crazy. Let's focus on this area right here. This is x. If we distribute it there, we have x squared minus 2x. That's that. Okay, and then we're subtracting this whole thing right here. So subtracting 2x squared plus 5x. And then we're adding, because we're adding, I don't worry about parentheses as much. We got 2x squared. Oh man, I'm going to run out of room. Plus 14x minus 3x minus 21. Okay, there's everything. Now remember, I hate subtracting negatives, so we're going to make this a positive, that's a negative, and that's a negative. And now let's start combining like terms. Let's combine our x squared. So here's an x squared, here's an x squared, and there's an x squared. This x squared and this x squared actually cancel out, and we're just left with one x squared right there. Here we got a x, here we got a negative x, and then we got some here and some here. So we got negative 2, and then a negative 5 is negative 7, and that 14 is a positive 7, and then minus 3, which would be 4x. I probably screwed up there somewhere. And then minus 21. Oh, I don't think so. Oh, this is good. Okay, so I got x squared plus 4x minus 21. Remember, we still have the common denominator of x times x plus 7. Okay, now can we factor this? Oh, you bet we can. We got a negative 21 and a 4 on top. So what times what is negative 21 and adds together before? What is that? 7 and 3. Which one's positive? No, this one's negative. Oh, so this is good. So we have x plus 7 on top, x minus 3 on top, over x times x plus 7. Now what cancels? Well, the x plus 7's cancel. So we're left with x minus 3 over x. Make sure you use parentheses. These students are just looking at me like I'm crazy in here. That's okay. Yes, I am talking to myself. That's why it's weird that you're here right now, because I'm talking to myself. Because I'm making a video for everyone. Yeah, they can hear you talk to me right now too. No, I'm not. You can watch the video right after. Okay, one more problem to do. Are you leaving? You don't want to see this next one? Oh, you can go. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we got to solve this. Oh, let's just use the graphing method. Okay, remember, key thing to do this one is we're going to subtract this from this side and this side. So what we have is when we subtract it, we have x minus 5 over x minus 8 minus x plus 1 over x minus 5 right there. That's what we have, and this is equal to 0. So we're going to graph this on a graphing calculator. You just put this part in your graphing calculator. You're going to figure out where it crosses the x-axis, and then those are your solutions that you have to check. Got to check them. So we'll come back here, and just because I was on my game last night, I got this already in here for us. Delete that, close this one off. Let's just see the graph of this one right here. And where does it cross the x-axis? No, doesn't look like it's over here. Oh, there we go. Crosses at where it's 11. Crosses at 11. So our solution should be 11. Doesn't look like it crosses anywhere else. This little dip right there. Nope, just 11. So let's go and see if 11 will not be a true solution. That's what we got to check for. So if you were to put 11 in this denominator, does it equal to 0? Nope. 11 minus 8 does not equal to 0. So that one checks off. And 11 minus 5 over here does not equal to 0. So that one checks off. So 11 is our final answer. Let's check it. Hopefully it is. There we go. That's 100%. Well, minus that one that I got wrong. But we got it fixed. So that's how you do the questions on the